Hi, my name is Katie Jones. I'm the reference librarian in the BPCC Library, and in this video we're going to look at how to find a book or material physically in the library using our online catalog. So most of this video will be me showing you how to do things on our website. So I'm going to switch over to my screen here. Right now I am on the BPCC Library webpage. To get to this web page from anywhere on BPCC's website, you will go to Academic Life and Library. So that's Academic Life in the gray bar and Library. And that will bring you to our library web page. And here on our home page is the online catalog. So you can do some quick searches here, and then it will take you to our online catalog. Now I am going to pretend that I am doing a topic on global warming or climate change. So I have some options of how I want to do this. We have our search for box and our search by box. Generally, for just a topic on some sort of subject like climate change, I would do a words or phrase search, which is the default. That will look at all of our records and find anything that ever mentions whatever word or phrase I put in this box. However, if I knew of a particular author that had written extensively on this topic, or maybe I knew the exact title to a book I wanted to find, I could change this to author or title, or even periodical title if I wanted to find a specific magazine or academic journal. For now, I'm going to go ahead and change this back to words and phrase, and I'm going to put in the phrase global warming. And then I will press search. And so anything that mentions global warming in the record should come up. So here we've got 18 titles that said that somewhere they mentioned the phrase global warming. And as I just start to glance through some of these titles, I do see that several of these look like they could probably work for my paper. So let's just take a look at the first one. Here they're just giving us the basic information about that resource. It does look like this is a book. It says it's shelved on the nonfiction shelves on the first floor. It tells us that there's one copy available. So in blue we've got our title. In this case the title is Global Warming, Understanding the Forecast, 2nd edition. Second line here we have our author, and then we have the call number. If I wanted to find this particular book, I would go to the nonfiction shelves on the first floor, and I would have my call number written down, and I would basically read this number like a sentence in order to find exactly where that book is on the shelf. So on the outside of each of our shelves, it does say what kind of books are there, followed by the call number range. And when I say kind, I mean fiction, nonfiction, biography, short story, things of that sort. So I want to find those nonfiction shelves, and then I want to find the nonfiction 500s. And once I've located all the nonfiction 500s, I then read this number like a sentence in order to narrow down exactly where that book is on the shelf. So I would look for the nonfiction 550s, the nonfiction 551, and so on and so forth, until I've taken all of the books and narrowed it down to this specific copy. Now let's take a look at the record and give us a little bit more information about this book. So I'm going to click on the title. And here they've given us a little bit more information. We've got our publisher, we have our publication date, which is a very important thing to keep in mind. You want to make sure you have the most up-to-date information. And then we also have our pages and our ISBN. So this is the item information, just the bare bones. What is this book? How do I find it? But we do have a section here called Catalog Record, which will give you a little bit more information about what this book actually covers. So I'm going to click on Catalog Record, and here they've given us a summary of what that book covers, and then we've also got what are called subject terms. Here under subject terms, these are defined terminology of what this book is actually about. All of our books use the same subject terms, so if I click on one of these, it will find any of the other books that also use that same subject term. So let's say I'm focusing on global temperature changes. I could click on this, And now it's given me the two other titles that also say that they focus on global temperature changes. So this is a really helpful way to find information that might not have come up the first time when we did our search just for books that mention global warming. I'm going to go back one. Another thing I want to point out here is this nearby items on shelf option. Now our books are arranged using the Dewey Decimal Call Number system, which is this alphanumeric system here, so the 500s. That means that our books are arranged by topic. So it makes sense that books on similar topics should be shelved together. Now if I click on this nearby items on shelf, it will show me the other books that are shelved right beside this book that we've been looking at. So here I have one on climate change, one on unstoppable global warming, one on weather. So I know that if this is a topic I'm interested in, this 551.6 area is a good place to go for me to browse and find other books. I'm going to go back one more. So far we've looked at browsing the shelves using the call number. We looked at using subject terms, but I also want to stress the importance of changing up those subject terms a bit. Notice that I first did a search for global warming, but why don't I press new search, and this time I want to try searching the term climate change. So right now I'm at global warming. I'm going to press new search in the red bar here. And notice it doesn't take us back to the BPCC Library webpage. Once we're in the online catalog, it pretty much stays there, but we've got the same drop-down box options. It searches the exact same way. If I ever need to get back to BPCC Library webpage, I can always click the BPCC Library webpage link here in the gray bar. But again, I'm going to keep this words and phrase, and let's do a search for climate change. And search. And this time we got 17 titles that all mentioned climate change. Now some of these may be a little more specific than others. Here we've got one just on chemistry in general. Here we've got some on clean energy. So really just depending on whatever your needs are, whatever your focus in your paper is, depends on which of these resources might work best for you. But again, changing up your subject terms will bring up resources you might not have gotten the first time. So here, let's say I wanted to look at this one on the complete guide to climate change. Notice that this resource actually says that it is an electronic resource. So that is one of our ebooks that we have in our ebook collection. If you see any of these sort of resources, what you can do is just click on this URL and it will bring up the ebook in a new window. So that is an option for you. You wouldn't even have to come to BPCC's campus to access this book. We do have a pretty good ebook collection. So here it's going to give us a little bit more information on authors, who published it, when it was published, and we've got our table of contents. So if there was something I wanted to focus on, I can click those specific chapters and take a look at those. So that's a wonderful resource for you, and I definitely want you to keep in mind those ebooks. And what you would do is just either click on ebook full text, or you can sign in to download those ebooks offline. So that is an option for you. Let's see. So I'm going to exit out of that page. And last thing I want to show you, just for a little bit of comparison, is notice here that we do have that global warming search which came up with 18 titles. I want to do that same search as a words and phrase search. As a title search, just so you can see the difference. Words and phrase means that if the phrase global warming ever comes up in a chapter, in a summary, in the title, it will bring that up. If I did a new search and I change this to title, it means it will only bring up the resources that have global warming in the title. So these would be more specifically about global warming, but it significantly narrows down your results. So I recommend trying both of those things just to see what fits your needs the best. But again, here under global warming, we found 7 titles, all with global warming in the title. So obviously these are going to be really wonderful resources for your paper. But if you want to find something a little different and expand that search, then again, you do have that words and phrase option. That was our BPCC Online Catalog. Again, that's how you find books and materials physically in the library. If you find anything that you want to check out, bring your student ID, come to the library, the circulation desk when you first walk in, and we can check out those items to you. Thanks, everyone.